Good morning, rail fans. We're glad you joined with us this morning. We were up in North Georgia a couple of days, and the night before we had stayed in McDonough, and instead of following the Norfolk Southern back down through Locust Grove, Jackson, and Macon, we decided to come over to Manchester to see what the CSX action was going on. As we were driving over the bridge, we saw this one headed this way and just about didn't get parked in time before we got a shot of the engines. It was a very, very cold, crispy morning. The wind was quite crispy. At this point, we didn't have time to get the tripod out or anything, so this is actually shot from the rail fan platform. If you're in that area, it's a good place to go see trains because there's 4 lines that come together here, and there's usually action most of the time. This particular train, we would discover later that we actually caught back up to it later as it left the yard. As we had our lunch this day, we started heading back south to Cordele to come on back home, and actually found that we actually ended up doing a chase of this train. So that's the thrust of this particular video. There are some other trains that we saw this particular day. They'll be on a different video, and we're glad you're with us, and I hope you enjoy it. And again, if you're ever in that area, this is the place to be. Those green hopper cars that you see in the view, plus the 4 engines on that train, helped us to determine later when we saw it as it was driving southbound, would eventually end up in Waycross, but that's what helped us identify it later. If you're at the rail fan platform, which we're actually standing on the platform now, there is a light switch. When you first come onto the deck there, you'll see that is actually a scanner switch. They don't leave it on all the time. When somebody leaves, you turn it off, but if you can hear the scanner in that platform, and you're hard of hearing if you don't hear it, it's pretty loud. So anyway, that's something they provide, and so if you go up there, just remember to turn the scanner switch on. I don't know what the rail designation is over there, but it does come down from the Atlanta area and goes through here, and they're actually going on to the Fitzgerald sub. We saw the other trains, but as we left after lunch, we happened to see this one through the woods and alongside of a road, and saw it had those engines, and then we saw the green cars, and so we knew it was My wife got a camera for Christmas, and she was using this one. We didn't understand that the camera she had, though, the microphone was actually overloaded by the sound, and we've since changed camcorders and microphone systems. I don't remember exactly what the name of this road was, but we happened to see this train on the left of us across the pasture, and as we saw this track, I said, hold up, let's get this overhead shot. That was pretty cool in our opinion. We thought that was nice to see a train go across. And I would bet you $10 to 1 that had a handicap sticker on the back of that truck. We've made a determination that that is the case 99% of the time. We're actually in Oglethorpe, Georgia, and let me clarify what I mean by the blue handicap sticker. On the 2 days that we spent on the road, every time we had somebody up our tailpipe trying to pass us, we even had people pass us on a curve, pass us on a hill, and every time they did, they had a blue handicap sticker on their bumper or on their tag. Then you find out somebody that just drives 100 miles an hour in zones where you're not supposed to be driving that fast. It's been the case 99% of the time. There was that little blue sticker. I'm just saying. That's an observation I made. If you're in Oglethorpe, there are 2 tracks, and the first time we came through Oglethorpe, doing the same thing coming down from Manchester, we would follow a train, but there's one that's a few blocks to our right that's in town, and we set up on it right next to a little rail, like a little rail depot, and then we heard the horn blow, and it was down here on this track. So this time we made sure we was on the right track. If you've been on this channel very long, you know there's one thing that I do like, and it's that big thunderous vibrating roar when those engines come by, and when you have 4 of them hooked together, it's just, it's a wonderful thing. And I had just hollered a comment that once we get the green cars, those covered hoppers were coming, we're going to shut it down and get on towards Fitzgerald. This is Cordele, and this is like a couple blocks over from the rail fan platform that is there. It's a very good place to park, plenty of room to get off the side of the road at this crossing. It's a fairly busy street, but it's a good spot because you can catch them coming around the curve, and then as you pan right, it goes by that definite water tower that you can't miss for Cordele and the rail fan platform. Our plans was to cut loose and head on over towards Fitzgerald to catch this train again, and then we were going to follow it on down to Waycross. When we got to Fitzgerald, we actually found out this one got sidetracked, and there was 2 northbounders that had to go, and by the time we was leaving Fitzgerald, it was almost dark, and we went on to Douglas thinking that this train might have got ahead of us without our knowing it, and we were assuming that it was on a siding on the north side of us. So we drove down to Douglas, and by the time we got there, we had it was completely dark. So we decided we had ended our chase, and we went on to Waycross, got some good Chinese food at the Beijing buffet. And as we were coming out of town, going to Valdosta back to where we live, as we was coming over the overpass on the Fitzgerald sub, we saw 4 engines coming through, and that's the only train of the day we'd seen with the 4 engines. Anyway, we appreciate you watching. We hope you enjoy it, and we thank you for watching to the end. And just like and subscribe, we appreciate it. And until then, we'll see you.